When I recorded this part, I didn't realize until August that my OBS had flicked my input settings by mistake, so I'm doing post-commentary here. First thing I do is raise my overseas base to level 2 in time for next season. I'm also going to get the third ground. I didn't want to spend too much money too quickly, as I do want to have enough money in reserve to get the large stadium when it's necessary. But the secretary, every 5 seasons, she says that she wants to move on, and you can say no and she'll change her mind, but I'm actually going to change the secretary. Nexus likes Letitia, but I'm more of a Rosalie and Mazzato fan myself. It really doesn't make a difference. What will make a difference, of course, is our sponsor contracts, and I was searching for the best privileges I can use for the next season, but they just turned out to be attached to the best monetary offers also. It's a shame I didn't wait one more turn to install that ground, as otherwise I would have gotten a discount for Ulajone. As for staff, I believe I had a reasonable excuse to fire Cornet, so I'm not taking a penalty on hiring better coaches. So let's go through that now. Bornman is coming back as manager. There isn't anyone better that we can select, and Bornman is gelling well with the players for now. I don't have to worry about tactical fitness diamond when it comes to coaches, so Helming comes in as the goalkeeper coach. Keeping Bruckner and Bonoff at youth and physical coach, there's no one that's clearly better than either of them, and the guy who didn't like Bonoff is gone now. Replacing Berthold, however, I'm going to go with Rickens. Everything else is going to stay the same for now. Same 3 scouts, same Captain Kosaka, even the same financial plan, which does concern me a little bit that we're not gaining fans at a fast enough rate to be able to expand to the next stadium and have it turn a profit quite quickly. But anyway, setting up another camp and, of course, another crack at the American Club Cup. I'm going to go somewhere that we haven't been before on camp, Kanagawa. Going to book friendlies against both Tokyo and Kanagawa and try to get everyone involved in this pre-season. And as for the training focus, the best for Kanagawa is tactical training. Good news, bad news. The bad news is that Arse has upgraded their reputation to world class when we're still only at a homegrown level. The good news is that our youth squad is looking good. We've finally got another goalkeeper in Christian Yicht, who isn't great, but will be an option if anything were to happen to Gießen or Dobner in these next 3 seasons. I've also got options at left back and right back, not to mention Klajina, so our defensive stocks can be replenished quickly when necessary. Since the outcome of these next 2 friendlies doesn't matter to us in the slightest, I'm going to use the advantage of post-commentary to go on a couple of tangents. The first being the planned Final Fantasy VI playthrough. I mentioned in my community post that commentary is actually quite difficult because the genre is new to me. To elaborate, manager games like this, it's easy for me to commentate live because if I do flub, and I often do, I can just restart what I was trying to say because the game won't advance until I take action. And when we enter the matches, commentary usually flows naturally because it's just me commentating on what's happening on the pitch. But when it comes to an RPG like Final Fantasy VI, it was difficult for me to fill the dead air at times, and this little break I'm taking is going to give me a little bit more time to think about exactly what I want to say and when I want to say it when I do attempt to record that again. My second tangent is a follow-up to part 30 where I talked about Sega Football Club Champions. I think I gave a measured review of it, but at least one viewer thought I might have still been too positive about it. I'm not going to name them here, I don't want to be rude, but the thing about me is that it takes a lot for me to dislike a video game because I like playing video games, I always have, and when I was growing up, I didn't have a lot of choice as to what video games I could play. I just had to make do with whatever I could afford, and It taught me to make the best of even flawed games. It's why I advocated for and then did a playthrough of Virtua Pro Football, because even though we all agree that the on-pitch gameplay doesn't measure up to its competitors even for the time, player mode was just that good that I still got hooked to Virtua Pro Football when I was younger. I can still acknowledge when a game is straight booty cheeks though. Most of the games made by Phoenix before they went belly up qualify, as I can acknowledge even back then that they just weren't up to the standard of quality I had come to expect on the PS2. And that was actually my motivation for making that one-off on Mythmaker Superkart GP, because that game is a candidate for best of the worst. I'll admit that video wasn't my best work, but that was a case of me trying to broaden my horizons on this channel, because unlike a lot of people, I'd like to be more popular on the internet. Anyway, Focus O. The American Club Cup is back, and we've got Necaxa in the first round. Not an easy start to the tournament by any means, and it's going to get harder because off this free kick there's no defensive effort at all, and Barton's going to rebound to make it 1-0 within the first 20 minutes. Leipzig struggled to fight back for much of the first half too. This attempt though, alert down the right wing, but his cross is going to be well wide of where it needs to be, and Nunez picks up. We do get more chances yet in the second half. First this throw in their end of the field. A chance to make something of it, but we don't. Gary Bids has this free kick in a really good position. He manages to force a save, but unlike our team earlier, Necaxa is organised in defence and it amounts to nothing. Late in the game, Lynn Patner finds Geiger, but there's no power in the Goofy R bicycle and Nunez takes it. Lynn Patner gets the ball one final time, but this time he shoots seemingly in a panic, and that summarises the game, because when you have 8 shots and only put 2 on target, you can't complain about losing, even if you otherwise had the run of play. This is really unfortunate for Franzen, because he is going to recover from his injury at last the very next turn, but now he's not going to get a chance to play in the preseason because we can't book a preseason friendly on short notice. We're just going to have to go all the way to August now. One positive that came out of this month, however, is that our PR efforts fared well. Both of my investments ended up succeeding. Speaking of investments, we have another chance here to market a player to the fans, and this didn't work with Hafez last season, but I think if I go with Gary Binns, he just won the top scorer award. He should be a hot commodity, and Rosalie Carteret afterwards reaffirms that, yeah, Binns is very popular right now. So if this 750k doesn't work out, I don't know how you're supposed to make it work. Anyway, time for the first game of the league season again against Kaiserslautern. Giving 4-3-3 a try. We didn't try it in the preseason, but then again we got bundled out early in the preseason, so maybe the formation change will in fact help us as we start away against Kaiserslautern. Oh, good! Beidel! Oh, I should have shot earlier. Still got a shot here. And I went with Binns on the corner kick. Baumgart gets the goal. Because I noticed that in both VPF and LMAST, sometimes the game will line up a striker on the corner kick in defense, and it often ended up being Binns. Oh, and now Kaiserslautern are down to 10 men. This is looking really good for us. What a good save from Gieson too, when I thought I was about to eat my words there. They've got a troll Bellingham. His name is Bellinghauser. We've been comfortable in the second half. This is their first major sequence of possession for a while, and they just play it out. Oh, that's a save from Gieson. Oh, and we got bailed out by Gericke, completely bottling it. When I saw him rushing up like that, I thought, oh no, here we go. There's that header that loops over the goalkeeper's head again. Instead, it looks like, regardless of the result of this last attack, we are going to come away with the win. But why not add another goal just for good measure? Full time blown right after that goal was scored, and we get our season off to the best possible start. Don't have anything to report on yet between games, so it's time for our home opener. tougher game this time. Stuttgart are one of the world-class level teams, and I'm going for a slightly different formation. The 2 defensive midfielders instead of 1, because Kosaka and Geiger are both in good condition. Oh, this is not looking like a good start, but Gieson got his body in the way. Oh, and that's a bad throw-in. Ryan latched onto it. Binns. Oh, it's been a real standoffish game. No one has gained an advantage. We really should have intercepted that. We do manage to get it away now. I'm going to have to sub off Ryan and Ruta next stoppage. Or at least that was the plan in order to get a late surge in this game. But as you can see, it's already injury time and the game's going to be over as soon as the players get subbed on. At least they got credited with an appearance. And at least we also got a draw against a team that was slightly favoured to beat us. Really? They want to take Gieson on board on loan? That doesn't make any sense because he's our clear first choice goalkeeper, and also if you've been paying close attention to my sum of money and wondering why it goes down occasionally, usually it's me just trying to top up the foreign branch off screen. Next game is against Gladbach. They dropped out of the Bundesliga but ended up winning the second division last season, so glad they're back. Trying to make hay while the sun shines. I know Ruta is still struggling for stamina, but he is coming up in good form otherwise. That's why I'm playing him. From that far out, I think Gieson probably should have saved that. Oh, come on. That is not a red card. I saw that tackle. That was clean. Despite going down to 10 men, we are able to put some pressure on them on the cusp of half-time. But we don't get the corner to go. Now, to be fair regarding both incidents, Wesley Sunk's strike was really good. It was a lot stronger than you typically see a mid-tier player manage. And actually, one of their player that got fouled by Marshall, he got injured as a result. So maybe the tackle wasn't clean after all. Oh, but that's going to put it to rest. Thomas Blake. Well, can Ryan get us one back? He can. Maybe it's not out of the question for us to salvage something yet. We are running out of time though, and our attempts to follow up have not been very good so far. That's just going to go straight to the keeper. And the whistle's going to blow. Although Binns was going to intercept that, I feel like we've been timer scammed. Got the message from the Armster for the first time in a while saying that the youth scouts this time is pretty good. And this must be the guy he was referring to. C. Spall can play a range of positions and is already fairly close to world-class potential. Not quite in our tactical fitness policy, but he's close enough that he can adapt, and I think he's well worth picking up. So with Marshall sitting out, Franzen has a chance to get some playing time that he missed out on in the preseason. Helmersberger also plays, though you'll notice his physical stats are really falling because he's 38. I don't think I'll be bringing him, Stuckenschmidt or Lynn Patner back. Part of the reason I kept them around was because I wanted them to announce their retirement on their own terms, because they're at a point where their skill decline is noticeable and they'd be more useful to me as coaches if they want to stay at the club. But since they haven't retired and I don't want to fire them either, they're in this awkward spot where they're taking up space on the roster that could be used on more youth players instead. That, by the way, was me noticing Gutale, who I recall we briefly had at the club. It's nice to see our former players getting playing time. It's something that I was a little disappointed to see Blond and Ginster miss out on when we sold them. Dobner's been keeping us in the game, but at this point, I can't help but feel disappointed that the score is still 0-0 because we were supposed to get the better of this team. But we really didn't look like challenging their own goal mouth all game. We had one shot, none on target. which leaves us on a somewhat modest 5 points from 4 games. I really would have liked 7 given the quality of opposition we were facing and the fact we've got to play Bayern very early next episode. Now, we have beaten Bayern once in this playthrough before, so perhaps we can win at least one of the September games and use that momentum to kickstart our campaign, but so far it's looking like we're definitely still a midfielder club. It's going to be a long haul to challenge the top clubs more consistently. Hopefully we can eventually, but for now, have a good one.